What is going down, my YouTube family? It is your boy Zary from Zary's Mobile Gaming coming back at you tonight to talk to you about the third installment in the noob series, Pandas. And as you can see, we were going to be doing it from the test account. First video, real video from the test account. So this is really cool. I got all the pandas up to gear 11. They are all at level 6 abilities. So you know the drill, you know how we're going to do things. We are going to take a look at stats in this, and then we are going to put on the optimal runes, max them all out, and take a look at stats again. So that's kind of going to be the new feature tonight. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so first on the list we have Kinley. Kinley is the Panda Order Defender Leader. So looking at his stats, he has a total power of 23,662 with health at 27,444, shield of 32,820, physical armor at 35%, magic armor at 30%, physical damage at 2773, critical chance at 26.87, critical damage at 150%, and a speed of 105. So let's get into his moves. The first ability is his basic ability, the Blade of Fury, and it deals 170% of physical damage to an enemy. This attack deals 50% more critical damage if the target is at full health. This attack is guaranteed to land a critical hit. So, what we have to do is we look at physical damage. Now there's a second part of this ability where his attack deals 50% more crit damage. If the target is at full health, this attack is guaranteed to land a critical hit. So that has nothing to do with really his moves, but critical damage could be a possibility to put on him. But I don't know if we're going to yet sacrifice health or survivability on a tank to put on crit damage. It could just be a possible bonus. So let's keep that in mind as we move on. The second ability is his Jade Wave. It deals 300% of physical damage to an enemy, 50% chance to apply a tenacity increase to 3 allies for 1 turn. So again, we have physical damage, and a tenacity increase has nothing to do with how we could rune him. So let's move on to the third. Third ability is his Taunting Mechanism 5-on-1. Gains taunt and a dodge increase for 2 turns, removes 2 buffs, and recovers 25% of his health. So right now we're up to physical damage, possibly crit damage, and health. Ability 4, Spiritual Recovery. Kinley recovers 20% health at the start of his turn. So definitely health on this character, definitely physical damage, and then crit damage. We have his leadership ability. All allied pandas increase their max health by 30%. Pandas recover 5% health for each critical hit dealt and each buff applied. This ability kind of reminds me a lot of Nightingale's lead for the elves, where if they land the critical hit, they recover some of their health, increasing survivability. I still think Patriarchy, which we'll get to in a little bit, is a little better of a leadership ability, but we'll take a look at that. So what did we learn by reading Kinley's move kit? You know, we learned a lot of his moves are dependent on physical damage. To maximize his damage, we need to put crit damage on him, but he needs health. His main thing is health. He recovers his own health. A lot of things are based on his max health. So looking over the rune word set, the way I'm going to go is I am going to go 2 health sets to increase his total health by an extra 20%. Then I am going to give him a tenacity set. And the reason I'm going to do that is the crit damage set is 4, and I want to give up the extra 10% health. But I want to give him tenacity because I really don't want him being stunned or taken out of the battle that way, so it'll increase the survivability of our team since he is the main tank right now. So take a pause in the video. I'll be back. Okay, I am back. So let's quickly look at the runes. In the top rune I have a damage primary, which is the only one we can get with damage, shield, health, and armor. Then I have the tenacity set with speed on there, health, crit chance, damage, and damage. I have armor, which is the only one we can get, tenacity, health, damage, and shield. Then I have crit damage, the primary, damage, damage, armor, and health. Then I have health, health, damage, damage, shield, and tenacity, speed, damage, and health. So I did put speed on Kinley, and let's take a look at his overall stats and see what we did. We increased his power by 286, his physical damage went up 215, his magic damage went up 146, his crit chance didn't even go up a percent, but his critical damage went up 24.15%. His health increased by 7,187. His armor about 1.5% for both. His shield increased by 1,600. His speed, we put an extra 23. Now a 128 speed for a tank, that's ballpark. You want to, I've noticed we want to be right around like the 125 mark. So that's good. And then his tenacity went up a whopping 34.55%. I really feel with what we did with Kinley, this will increase his survivability, he's not going to get stunned, and it's going to keep him up. Next on our list we have Patriarch Chi. He is Order, Panda, Healer, and a Leader. His power right now sits at 23,662. His health is at 24,051. Shield is at 26,918. Physical armor at 28.99%. Magic armor 37%. Magic damage at 2659. Critical chance 20.41. And speed at 127. So let's take a look at his moves. First ability up is Dragon Strike. It deals 220% of magic damage to an enemy, a 50% chance for Kinley and a random ally to gain a shield equal to 50% of the damage dealt. So what we have to take away from this is magic damage, which falls underneath the damage category. The chance to land that ability does not have to do with potency. Ability 2 is Fortitude. This gives an ally shield equal to 700% of Patriarch Chi's magic damage, and it removes 2 buffs from that ally. So again, we have magic damage. Ability 3 is Meditation. Gains armor increase and applies it to all allies for 2 turns. So this has nothing to do with runing, so we're still looking primarily at damage. Ability 4 is Crane Technique. When applying shield, Patriarch Chi has a 40% chance to heal the ally for 30% of the shield. His final ability, leadership ability, is Sensei. All ally healing spells apply a shield equal to 45% of the healing. All attacks by allies from the order restore their shield by 20% of their damage dealt. What we can learn from this is, whatever healers you're putting, if you're running him in his lead, you want to make sure that whatever increases their healing, if it's magic damage or health, you want to make sure that that is topped up, and that their shield is 20% of their damage dealt. We want to make sure that the attacker's damage is also very high. So what did we learn from Patriarch Chi's kit? We learned that he needs damage, and he needs survivability, just like every other character, but we want him to be fast. We really, really want him to be fast, so he can get those shields up, he can apply those buffs. So looking at the rune word set, what we're going to look for is we are going to look for a speed set to give him 10% more speed, and then we are going to run a health set because we can't have the 2-4 sets on there. So we're going to look for primarily speed as a primary for the 1, and then a lot of damage primaries. So I will be back and we'll see how it goes. Okay everybody, I'm back. This is what we're looking like. I got speed and health. So starting with the runes, I have a damage with speed, armor, health, and tenacity, increasing his speed, damage, and survivability, checking all 3 boxes. On this one, I have the primary of speed with shield, damage, armor, and health, again, checking all the boxes. The next one, I have armor, speed, damage, shield, and crit chance. No health, but does increase his survivability. Then I also have damage, armor, speed. Potency I don't need, but the plus 15 damage with the plus 3 speed is why I kept that rune. Then over here we have the health primary, damage, crit chance, armor, and shield. Now keep in mind, if he's run under a Kinley lead, the crit chance is critical there, so can be a bonus. And then I have the damage with tenacity, speed, potency, and crit chance. So all in all, very happy with the runes. Let's take a look and see what it did for him. Okay, we increased his total power by 286. We increased his magic damage by 250. We increased his crit chance by 4.66%. We increased his health by 3,300. We increased his armor right around 2%. We increased his shield by 719. We increased his speed by 45. His potency by 2, which really doesn't matter, and his tenacity by about 2.5%. Bringing his speed up by 45, putting him at 172, really increases that survivability, and he can keep the shield up on people longer. So extremely happy with what we did with this. Alright, coming up next we have Ember. Ember is a panda fighter, mage, and gladiator. Just to run over her stats quickly, she has a power of 22,005. She has a health of 21,100, shield 27,313, physical armor 32.64, magic armor 40.49, magic damage of 3117, critical chance at 20.6, and speed at 160. Already a fast character, so let's get into her move kit. Okay, first ability, Fireball, deals 250% of magic damage to an enemy. A burned enemy target will receive 300% of magic damage instead. Ability 2, Meteor, deals 400% of magic damage to an enemy, stuns the target for 1 turn. Now at a lower level we definitely want potency on this, but since it is level 6, we don't need the potency because it's automatically applied. So the first ability was magic damage, the second ability, magic damage. And my favorite one to say, ability 3, Spirit of Zhao Nio. So if somebody knows how to say that, let me know. But what it does is it deals 250% of magic damage to all enemies, 70% chance to inflict burning for 2 turns, and 30% chance to remove all buffs from enemies. So potency is going to be extremely important because burning affects her basic ability. So we want to make sure that burning sticks. And a chance to remove all buffs from enemies, huge. And of course, magic damage. And then her final ability, her passive ability. For each burning stack on enemies, Ember recovers 6% health at the start of her turn. So health is going to be big so she can heal herself. Under the Patriarch, with Patriarchy on the team though, you're going to have the heals. So keep that in mind. But I don't know if I'll put health as a main stat. Maybe on the southeast or southwestern rune where you can have shield or health only. Health will be the option there, but as far as that, it'd be a good secondary stat. Okay, so we learned for Ember, reading her kit, is that obviously damage. She's already fast, but adding some more speed to her will be key because she is going to be massive damage, and there's a chance we could maybe push her over to right around 180, 185 speed, so we'll see how that plays out. But you also want potency, because you got to land that burning, and then you also have the chance to remove all those buffs. So you want to make sure that, one, it passes that potency tenacity check. So let's take a look at the rune words and see what we can do. So for me, she's already a very fast character, so I think the extra 10% speed isn't really where we need to go with her. I believe we need a potency set to give her that extra 15% potency, which is a 2, and then a damage set at 4, giving her that 20% extra damage. So that's where I'm going to go. So I will be back, and I will show you all how we did. Okay, we are back, and I have the damage set on with the potency set. So let's review what I did. I went with damage primary, obviously, speed, armor, health, potency. Now what I should have said is, remember, we are going for potency, damage, speed, health, and then survivability. So moving on, I went with the speed primary, shield, armor, potency, damage. I went with, obviously, armor, damage, speed, shield, damage. We have damage, damage, shield, crit chance, and health. Here I went with the health, then there's potency on there, damage, tenacity, crit chance, and then in the other one I went with potency, giving me an extra 17% potency, almost 2% more crit, damage, shield, tenacity. So let's see what it did to the overall stats. Okay, so we have the power is at 285. We upped her physical damage by 421, and her armor, or her magic damage by almost 900, 884. The crit chance went up by 3%. Her health went up by 800. Her physical armor went up by almost 2%. Magic armor by 2.3%. Her shield is at 1275. Her speed, we were shooting for 185, we got it to 183. Extremely happy with that. Her potency is at 68.75%. We put an extra 35.7% on her. That is huge. Her tenacity is up 3%. Lifesteal still at 5. Nothing we can do about that. So extremely happy the way it turned out. We have her potency up extremely high. I mean, I wish it was higher, obviously, but for what we have, I think this is great. Another possibility is you could put 2 potency sets on her and a health set, but I still think increasing her damage is more beneficial. Okay, moving on, we have Fao. Fao is a panda fighter, ranger, and traveler. Reviewing the stats, we have a power of 22,005. Her health is at 15,814. Shield at 18,741. Physical armor 25%. Magic armor 23%. Physical damage at 2887. Critical chances at 30%. And the speed is at 137. Let's check out her moves. Her first ability here is called Sure Shot, deals 250% physical damage to an enemy. If this ability deals damage, Fao gains 20% of turn meter. If this ability lands a critical hit, Fao gains an additional 20% turn meter. So, critical chance and physical damage is what we've learned from here. If you can shoot your basic and gain 40% turn meter because you got a crit, that's huge. She already has a high critical chance, already sitting at 30, so that's a plus. Something to keep in mind. Second ability is Salvo, deals 280% of physical damage to the target and 2 random enemies. A critical hit with this ability decreases the enemy turn meter by 20%. So we have physical damage, and again, landing a critical hit does something for us. Here it takes away the enemy's turn meter. So again, physical damage, critical chance. Third ability, Grace, gains a dodge increase and applies it to all allies for 2 turns. Good move, but doesn't affect the way we're going to ruin her at all. And her passive ability, Fao gains 30% physical damage increase, an additional 5% for each living panda in the party. So, she's giving herself 30% physical damage, and then she can get an additional 25% for each living panda. Or for the living pandas in the party if she's run with an all-panda team. So just from this move alone, we can increase her physical damage by 55%. So what did we learn from Fao's moves? We learned that she needs physical damage and crit chance, but her passive ability already increases her physical damage by 30%. So let's take a look at the runes, because I think, and you guys might know where I'm going to lean with this. So we're looking at the rune words, and we could put a damage set on, which is 4. That's going to give us an extra 20%, and then we could put a critical chance, which would give us an extra 8%. But the buff she already puts on herself, I think we can eliminate that 20% damage, and I think we could put all critical chance on her. So we would be putting additional 24% critical chance on her, just from the word rune bonus, and her already high critical chance. We're already over 50% chance to crit. And that's without any secondary stats. So I think the way we got to go is essentially, I think I'm going to try for all critical chance, and what I'll be looking for in secondary stats are speed. The northeastern rune, we're definitely going to put a speed mod there. The southern rune, we'll be looking for more crit chance, and then survivability. Damage. She doesn't need potency, she doesn't need tenacity, so we're gonna, if they're on there, great, but we don't really need them. For her, she is just gonna be damage dealer, turn meter reduction. I will be back, we'll take a look and see what the stats do. Okay, we are back. I got all critical chance on her, so let's go over the runes, and then we will see what it did to the stats. So, we have a critical chance. here with damage, critical chance, damage, potency, health. The only thing I don't really like on there is the potency, but the critical chance hit twice, so an extra 2% is big. The next one, speed, critical chance, health, damage, armor, great rune. Then we have armor, damage, crit chance, health, shield. Then we have the crit chance, an extra 6% damage, potency, damage, armor. Again, I don't like the potency too much. It hit twice, but the double damage was nice. Then we have shield with 2 speed, again potency, some tenacity, but almost 2% more crit chance. Then we have damage, health, speed, and shield. Again, another good, really good rune for her. So let's see what it did to the stats. We increased her physical damage by 245, magic damage by 123. Critical chance, we got 35.9% on there, increasing her critical chance to a 66.75%. That's big. Then her health went up 411, physical armor 1.5, magic armor a little bit above 1.5. Her shield we put on almost 2,900, and her speed we put on 27, so she's at a 164. So I think we maximized her runes with her rune kit. Let me know what you think about her and how you guys would do it. Okay, we have Master Duo up next. He is Order Panda Fighter Warrior Gladiator. Power is at 2205, health is at 18986, shield is at 19883, physical armor at 37.25%, magic armor at 26.51%, physical damage at 2688, critical chance at 23.77, and speed at 113. Let's take a look at his moves. First ability is Slashing Blow, deals 250% of physical damage to an enemy, a 50% chance to inflict slow. If the target is inflicted by slow, turn meter is reduced by 30%. So what did we learn? Physical damage, potency. Ability 2, we have Path of the Tiger, Master Duo, and 3 allies recover 30% of their turn meter, and gain regeneration and armor increase for 2 turns. Master Duo gains 1 extra regeneration stack. So we learned that he is giving allies 30% of their turn meter, putting regeneration and armor increase on them, but this move doesn't really affect the way we're going to rune him. Third ability is Martial Knowledge. Master Duo assumes a battle stance, gains 50% of his turn meter and recovering 35% health. While in battle stance, Master Duo gains 30% crit chance and 30% crit damage increase. This effect cannot be prevented or removed. Using this ability again cancels the stance, and he gains counterattack for 2 turns. So we learned that the 30% crit chance and the 30% crit damage is just flat. It's not going to base off of that. It's just you're going to get an extra 30%. But he's going to recover 35% of his health. So the more health we have on this on Master Duo, the more health he's going to recover when he uses Martial Knowledge. So we have physical damage, potency, and health. And his passive ability, Master Duo, is immune to blindness attacks. If Master Duo is the last remaining fighter, his incoming damage from all sources is reduced by 50%. So again, it's awesome that he's immune to blindness, and that if he's the last one on the board, he gets a armor increase, essentially. But again, this doesn't affect how we're going to rune him. So when looking at Master Duo, we learned damage, potency, and health are his big things. So we have a couple different options here. We could go with a damage set, increasing his damage. We could go with a potency set, increasing his potency. We could go with a health set, increasing his health. We could go with a speed. There's a lot of different things we could do. But I think the most important thing for me is inflicting the slow with potency would be really nice, but one potency set might not make the difference for it. I mean, an extra 15% is nice, but we might be able to make that up on the Northwestern rune. So I am going to go damage set with a health set on him, because he is going to heal himself, so the extra 10% health would be nice. And the extra damage, he has 2 of his moves are based off of his physical damage, so that's the way I'm going to go. So I'll be back, and I'll let you know how we do. Okay, we are back. And on here, I have the damage set with the health set. We'll take a look at everything, and then we'll look at stats. So on the top one, I have damage primary, obviously damage, tenacity, critical chance, armor. I have speed, health, shield, tenacity, and health on this rune, I foregoed the damage aspect and went for more survivability secondary stats, just to help him out there. Then on this stat, I kind of did the same thing. It does have a damage, but not too much, but more health, tenacity, and armor. I went with damage here, with critical chance, shield, and some potency. I went with health, critical chance, speed, and potency. And then in this rune, I decided to go damage and give up the potency because I had a 30% chance to afflict slow. It's already low, and to get by both tenacity and potency checks, I felt the damage is way more beneficial, so I went damage, speed, critical chance, armor, and damage. So let's see what it did to his stats. For his stats, we increased his physical damage by 836, magic damage by 332, critical chance by 4%. We put his health up by 3290, physical armor by 1.6%, and magic armor by 1.78%, his shield by 896, his speed we bumped up by 28, potency only went up 2, and tenacity by 3, so increasing his survivability, but definitely got his magic up there and his health, which is what we wanted to do, so we definitely accomplished that. Okay, next up we have Kung Fu Panda Shaolin. He is a order panda fighter warrior. He has a power of 2205. His health is at 20,098. His shield is at 20,853. Physical armor 37%. Magic armor 28%. Physical damage at 26.87%. Critical chance at 21.86. And speed at 134. So let's check out his moves. His first ability is Smashing, deals physical damage 270% to an enemy. If the target's health is above 50%, Shaolin recovers 10% health. So we've learned physical damage and health. Second ability, Triple Serving, attacks an enemy 3 times. Each attack deals 140% of physical damage. So physical damage. And the fact that he's attacking 3 times, so we don't want that to miss. I don't use it a lot, but we might want to consider accuracy over speed. Something I want to think about. Okay, third ability, the 7 Chef Strike, attacks random enemy targets 7 times. Each target deals 100% of physical damage. So physical damage, and again he's attacking multiple times, so accuracy might be better than speed. I might be crazy, but I think it could work. And his passive ability, Shaolin, gains a 15% accuracy increase, an additional 5% for each living panda in the party. You run 5 pandas, 25% plus 15% gives him additional 40% accuracy. So if we put the accuracy rune in there, we could be looking at 50%. So just so everybody knows, accuracy is not a stat we really talk about quite often. Every character has 100% accuracy, and what it does is the chance to hit an enemy with most abilities. So the higher we get his accuracy, the less they're going to dodge, or they could evade. So when he's attacking that many times, accuracy, I believe, is going to be over speed. So what did we learn? We learned health and damage are important for this guy. Now we're going to sacrifice the speed rune for the accuracy rune. There is no accuracy rune set. So there's a couple different ways I'm thinking. Is one, we could go speed and health and give him the extra 10% speed and focus on the secondary stats of damage, and then we kind of increase his speed so he goes more often. We still get the accuracy bonus, and then we're increasing his health, or we go damage, giving him 20% damage and then 10% health. I think I'm going to go speed and health on him and look and focus primarily on damage secondaries. So that's what I'm going to do. I've decided. You can all yell at me in the comments, and that's fine. I'll be back. Okay, we are back. I got the 2 health and the 4 speed for 1 speed set and 1 health set. So let's review the runes, and then we'll see what it did to him. I have damage, health, shield, speed, and shield, increasing his survivability, 5 extra speed with some damage. I have accuracy as extra 6%, critical chance, speed. Potency didn't do anything, but the critical chance I thought was a little nice bump with the armor for survivability. Armor, speed, damage, shield, health. I went with damage, health, critical chance, potency again sucks, but the health hit was nice, and damage, so double damage. Health, damage, damage. Health, shield, good rune for him. And then damage, armor, critical chance, tenacity, shield. I sacrificed trying to get a little bit more damage on him for a little more survivability. So let's see what it did to his stats. So overall for his stats, we increased his physical damage by 281, almost pushing it to 3,000. Magical damage went up by 128. Critical chance went up by 4%. Accuracy went up by 6%. I was hoping for more. That was really kind of disappointing. Health was up by 3,015. That's a plus. And his shield went up by 1,183. His speed went up by 26. Tenacity went up by 2. And he has 25% lifesteal. It's one of the highest in the game, so that is huge. And finally, we have Rin the Unseen. Not in the game, so all we can do is theory craft. She is Order Panda, Tactician, and a Rogue. I will tell you, I'm not going to go over her stats, but I'm kind of teasing an upcoming video. I have an upcoming video where I break down stats for each character who is in the top 5 of each major category. Her speed is one of the best. Her physical damage is one of the best. She is a very good character. So let's take a look at her move kit. At level 6, Kunai. I'm terrible with these names. Somebody correct me. Somebody sent me how to say something today, and that is huge, because I don't know what I'm talking about. Flings 3, Kunai, at an enemy, dealing 100% physical damage. So she attacks 3 times, physical damage. Second ability at level 6 deals 200% physical damage to all enemies. If this ability kills the enemy, it instantly refreshes and Rin recovers 50% turn meter. Wow. Awesome. And that is called Fan of Blades. Third ability at level 6, Rin the Unseen, gains counterattack and damage increase for 2 turns and recovers 50% of her turn meter. Reflective Strikes. When isn't she recovering turn meter? Holy crap. And her passive ability at level 6 is called House of Shadows Technique. Rin the Unseen gains 35% physical damage increase and an additional 5% for each living panda in the party. So with her speed already being as high as it is, I would probably go just damage, more damage, maybe even crit chance and critical damage, so that way, because her damage is one of the highest in the game. So there's a lot of possibilities with her, and I really, really would like to try that out. Can't wait for us to get her. She should be fun. So YouTube, there it is. Third installment of the For Noob series, Pandas. I've made some crazy decisions, possibly. I gave accuracy, gave up 20 speed for 6 accuracy. I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. Let me know what you guys think on that one. Also, let me know what you guys think of this newer style where I try to optimize runes and we look at the stats. I'd love to hear feedback on that. Thank everybody for the support. Still gunning for that goal of 200 subscribers. Hopefully that'll change at the time I get this edited and out. I just wanted to thank everybody again for the support, the love, the interaction. Honestly, it's just amazing. For the next installment in the Noob series, drumroll please. I hope you guys could hear that. Goblins. We will be going over goblins. So, thank you all again for the support. Everybody, be safe, have fun, play the game, enjoy it. This is Jerry, your boy, signing out.